This is a 2015 Lexus IS 350. If you're a fan of the Lexus LFA design and technology, you're gonna love this car. Today, I'm gonna show you why I think this is a great value in the sports sedan segment. After that, I will show you some of my favorite features, take it for a drive and give you some driving impressions. And at the end of this video, I will point out some of the things that you should look for if you're planning on buying one. The IS model first appeared back in 1999 when Lexus needed a sports compact luxury sedan for its lineup. At the time, they only had 6 models: the ES, the GS, the LS, SC, RX, and the LX SUV, which was also a rebadged Toyota Land Cruiser. So in order to save on costs, they once again rebadged their Japanese Altezza model into the IS 300 for the American market. A great sporty car with great potential, but not necessarily very luxurious. And I can attest to that, as I had a 2002 IS 300 in yellow. During the early 2000s, Lexus was going through a global reorganization and separation from its parent company Toyota, which completed in 2005. Right before the launch of the second generation IS lineup. During this reorg and transformation, Lexus started to change their design language and needed a more luxurious sports compact sedan. So in 2006, they introduced the first IS 350 and 250 models, along with the high-performance IS-F in 2008. And then ultimately leading to this current model, which is more refined, spacious, and performance-oriented. Now, this particular model is finished in atomic silver on the outside and black with Rioja red accents on the inside, and it sure looks great. Power comes from a 3.5-liter V6 producing 306 horsepower and 277 pounds of torque, and that's delivered to all 4 tires through a 6-speed automatic transmission. And if you opt for the rear-wheel drive model, then you'll get the better 8-speed transmission that was borrowed from the RCF. This car is loaded with the F Sport package, which includes features such as the adaptive variable suspension tuning, heated and ventilated front seats, heated perforated leather steering wheel, a TFT instrument cluster, unique front fascia grille and LED headlamps, F Sport badging all around, 18-inch F Sport wheels, and it also includes the F Sport Plus driving mode. There are other trims available such as the IS 250 and the IS Convertible, but these models were offered in rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive trims, and I'll be reviewing those separately. For more details, I'm including the IS 250 and IS 350 product information brochure linked below. Now, let's walk around the car. Take a look at the exterior, then I'll show you the interior, some of my favorite features, and we'll take it for a spin, and then I'll show you some of the things that you should look for if you're planning on buying one. As far as the design, it's got a lot of cues from the LFA as well, but this is mainly designed after the LFCC concept. As you can see here, the LED lights are very compact. You have the swoosh here. These are your daytime running lights, and they're very bright and very cool looking. Aggressive spindle grille here, and the F Sport models have a more aggressive front bumper than the non-F Sport models. The lines on the car flow all the way through the back, and as you can see, you have a little plastic edging here, and these are designed basically to control airflow all the way to the back. You can see them right here as well. And then in the back, you can see the tail light design follows that same swoosh that you have at the front. Very aggressive, futuristic design. Now, this is a very nice interior, and as I mentioned, a lot of the LFA technology and design was trickled down to this car. You can see that all over the interior of this car, starting with the dashboard, the layout of the cabin, this center console, even the steering wheel, and most importantly, the dash cluster. Now, some of my favorite features are right here in the interior of this car. And let's start right with the dash cluster, the amazing dash cluster that was inspired by the LFA. So as you can see here, this dash cluster actually has a lot of different features, and it actually physically moves when you engage certain menus. As you can see, when you hit the start button or when you start the car, you can see the dash cluster immediately coming to life. And so this is a digital screen, but then also has a mechanical component to it that actually, you know, functions as a physical device moving and giving you that impression that it is multiple digital devices on top of another. It's pretty interesting. So let me demonstrate how that works. I'm going to start the car now. And as you can see, the dash cluster comes to life, and then you immediately go into the standard mode. But I have this selector here, which allows you to switch in between, I believe, 5 different menus, which is eco mode. Then I will do normal mode, which you can see right there. Then we have Sport Plus. And then there's a menu here. And as you can see, if you hit that menu, the actual tachometer moves to the side along with that physical bezel. And in here, you have a lot of different options that you can explore. You got gear position, you have your tire pressure, you have eco indicator. It gives you information, trip information, such as your range and distance, current miles per gallon. It's a pretty cool feature to have. If you ask me, that is the best dash cluster for the time period. The next item I want to highlight is the temperature control. This is a new system that Lexus came out with during this time period. And as you can see, it's got a sliding bar right here. And this sliding bar, you just slide your fingers up or down depending on what temperature you want, and it works very smoothly. It's quite amazing. It's really nice and very sensitive to the touch. That is a pretty nice feature to have. The rest of the interior is equipped with what has become traditional or standard features. You got a gear or a driving mode selector here, traction control button, and then a snow button feature for snowy conditions. And then on the steering wheel, you have your standard controls for managing the entertainment center, as well as paddle shifters when you want to shift your gears manually. At the top, we have just your standard sunroof and lighting buttons or controls. And then the rest of the interior, you have a lot of different standard features like garage door openers, trunk openers, adjusting your lighting, etc. But the cool thing is that this is reminiscent of that LFA design that I've been talking about, and it's quite an interesting interior. And now the time has come, my favorite part of the video. Let's go for a drive. The driving position is extremely comfortable and super adjustable. I mean, you can be 6'5" or taller and be able to fit comfortably in here, or shorter. And you have a lot of support on the seats. The seats are great. The steering wheel, it feels like it's stiff enough. The girth is also good. The paddle shifters are well positioned as well. Not the greatest, but they're good. Driving position overall is pretty good. Brakes on these cars are very good for the segment they are in. As I mentioned, these come equipped with a high friction brake pads, so the contact is very immediate. Now, as I mentioned, this one comes with the 6-speed automatic transmission. Shifting is not the priority with this transmission. Again, this is the all-wheel drive, so weather comes into the priority list for this car. If you want faster shifts, a more sporty feel, go with the rear-wheel drive version. That one has the ISF transmission and it shifts phenomenal. And talking about the transmission, let's do a quick demonstration. So as you can see, it shifts very smoothly, not as aggressive or immediate as you would expect from a high performance vehicle. But again, you have to think about the product that you're buying, right? You're choosing a car that has all-weather capability, comfort, reliability, safety, all combined into one. So again, as I said, if you want a more specific, more responsive vehicle, then you want to go with the rear-wheel drive version of this car, because that's going to be more direct, better transmission and such. But you know, as an overall package, the suspension with the adaptive suspension is great. Steering response is variable, and it's got a good feel. It's not numb. You can feel some of the road. If you want to improve that suspension feeling, there's also companies out there that sell bushings and products that give you that more direct feel that Lexus tries to take out. In my opinion, for this time period, this is the best value in the sport compact luxury sedan segment. Well, that was a great drive. Now, let's look into what to look for if you're planning on buying one. I made a video to show you general things to look for when buying any car, like body shape, signs of wear, leaks, etc. The link is included below. Use that as your starting basis, but now let's dig into things to look for this car specifically. Now keep in mind, it's never a bad idea to bring along a car-savvy friend like myself who is familiar with these cars to help you look for things. If you have your heart set on one, I would also recommend that you get a PPI, a pre-purchase inspection done by an experienced Lexus dealership or a Lexus mechanic. It will be the best $200 that you spend on the car. It's worth noting that Lexus is synonymous with reliability. Therefore, common problems are kept at a minimum. Lexus and its parent company Toyota spends billions of dollars in research and development to ensure that their vehicles are as safe and reliable as possible. With that in mind, here's a list of the things that can become expensive to repair, or maintenance items that can be costly. Is the tires. Let's take a look at one very expensive maintenance item. Tire wear can be a concern from some buyers, especially those buying the F Sport models like this one. These models come with high performance tires and with aggressive wheel alignment for improved handling. While this yields better performance around the corners, it comes at a price. Excessive tire wear has been documented by many owners reporting having to replace their tires every 20 to 30,000 miles. Now, these tires are expensive. There's no way that I'm aware of to adjust the camber on these cars to remedy the problem. So keep that in mind when you're buying one of these. And while I'm right here, I'm going to talk about the brakes, because we have a similar situation with the brakes. These cars come equipped with a high friction, high performance brake pads, which wear the brake pads and the rotors a lot quicker. Now, this is for performance purposes, but the owners are saying that they have to replace the brake pads every 30 to 40,000 miles, depending on driving conditions. Now, while this may be extended depending on the driving mode, that's what's been reported. Now, the F Sport models are also reported to generate a lot of brake dust. Now there's some options for that. You can buy some aftermarket products such as the Akebono or Endless brake pads, which provide similar or better performance with much less brake dust. For the Lexus IS350, there are two important recalls that I want to highlight for you. I also want to point out that these are the recalls that are available right now in 2022. But the best option is always to find out the recall information by going to the manufacturer's website directly. I'm including a link to that below. In the US, you can also visit the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and the link to that is also included below. For either option, just enter the vehicle's 17-character VIN number, and this will provide you with a list of recalls for the vehicle you are looking into. For this Lexus, there's two recalls, as I mentioned, that I want to highlight, and the first one has to do with the Takata airbag recall. You may or may not recall the Takata airbag recall affecting various manufacturers. And if I say recall one more time, please slap me in the face. About 67 million have been recalled because these airbags can explode, and when deployed, they can cause very severe injury or even death. And so Toyota has dedicated a page specifically for this recall. So make sure that if this has not been addressed, that you have it addressed, or consider this when you're making an offer. For more information on the Toyota Takata recall, I'm including a link to that below as well. Owners may also contact the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration Vehicle Safety Hotline, and that information is also included below. So make sure to check that out. The next recall is the fuel system. For later 2018-2019 models, the low pressure fuel pump inside the fuel tank may fail. If the fuel pump fails, the engine can stall while driving, increasing the risk of a crash. Toyota will notify owners, and dealers will replace the fuel pump free of charge. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope that this information is helpful to you. Now, if you've made it this far, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for more videos. Also, do me a favor, if you need help, don't hesitate to reach out. You can contact me right here. See you on the next video.